Good afternoon to the respected judges. My name is Michelle Voon from Sabah, Malaysia, a place that has profoundly shaped how I see community, culture, and design. As a Sabahan, Tanjung Aru has always been somewhere I return to, not just for its beauty, but the feeling it carries. In a region where tourism plays a critical role, Sabah has recorded 3.8 million tourist arrival in 2025, and the numbers continue to grow. Located just 8 minutes away from Kota Kinabalu city center and right next to the international airport, Tanjung Aru is Sabah one of the most iconic destinations, known as one of the best places to watch sunset. From its scenic coastline to water sports, coastal activities, and cultural festive where people gather and connect. All of this create a place that is constantly alive. On the surface, Tanjung Aru is thriving, celebrated, experienced, seen. But what is seen is not the full story. Just minutes away from the iconic shoreline lies Kampung Tanjung Aru Lama, one of the last Bajau coastal settlements in Kota Kinabalu. Honestly, I did not discover this place intentionally. It was during one day at the local market, a food vendor casually invited me over. And I thought, okay, why not? She brought me into their home, served me home-cooked food, and started sharing stories about the place, the people, and their life. That was when I first understood this fishing village was meant to be part of the tourism narrative. They even share how this concrete bridge has split the village into old and new. But it also became a vital link connecting their daily movement in between the sea and the land. And there's this one resident, Pak Nor. He had just caught fresh fish that morning, and he goes around the village selling them on his bike. And I remember thinking, I came here as a stranger, but they treated me like I'm family. And that moment stayed with me, because in a place where they have so little, they gave so much. A community rich in identity and generosity, deeply rooted in Bajau heritage. Despite its strategic location, this village exists outside of the tourism system. There is a gap shaped by disconnected urban fabric, fragmented nodes, untapped tourism potential, and inadequate infrastructure. And beyond this issue, there are deeper socio-economic realities. Many residents rely on informal income, selling food, goods, and daily catch, while limited local opportunities force them to seek work beyond Tanjung Aru. As a result, incomes remain unstable and seasonal. Younger generations are leaving, while older generations face limited access to long-term economic stability. And yet, the community remains resilient. Through the conversation with the local leaders and the residents, one thing became clear. They do not want to be relocated, erased. They want to be included and to be part of the tourism narrative. This project begins with the community. It seeks to reconnect the fragmented nodes, to sustain cultural continuity, to empower community, and to uplift resilience through architecture. Positioning architecture as a tool for reconnection, this project reintegrates Kampung Tanjung Aru Lama into the broader narrative of Tanjung Aru through community-based tourism. While the revitalization of this place is site-specific, it offers a pilot prototype that can be scalable to other future coastal communities in Sabah. Let me introduce to you Reimagining Floating Future, Tanjung Aru Experiential Tourism Hub. The design inspiration started with the Lepa boat. The boat for the Bajau, it doesn't only represent the Bajau culture identity, but it is their lifeline for survival, movement, and craftsmanship. In the study, I also look into the dissection of the Lepa boat, from the boat component to the construction method. This has become the foundation of the master plan, not merely on its form, but its spirit as a vessel that carries craftsmanship, movement, and survival. This experiential tourism hub is now placed at the center, representing the keel of the Lepa boat. Surrounding it, it's a core zoning consists of commercial and residential area, while some of the existing homes are carefully rearranged within the village. From this diagram, 7 Bajau heritage component has revealed how intangible cultural asset can be meaningfully translated into spatial layout and architectural expression. Through the analysis, 5 core dimensions are formed, which has become the design DNA of the project. Let me bring you through this journey through the 5 experiential dimensions: movement, memory, expression, craft, and resilience. Movements becomes a form of cultural choreography. Starting the journey from Arrival Pavilion, you will next go to the Visitor Center. As you go along the axis, you will arrive at the heart of the project, which is Diom Luma, the experiential zone. The spaces then spreads outwards towards the flag making studio, boat repair workshop, and floating dining. Last but not least, it spreads outwards to the entrepreneurial booth and some of the community activity nodes within the residential cluster. Every Bajau story begins on the water, and today I'd like to invite all of you to begin there with me. At Arrival Pavilion, there is no grand gateway, no imposing form, because the sea has always been home to the Bajau. As the visitors step onto the boat glides through the Bajau neighborhood. The journey is led by the local residents as their tourism ambassador, boat operator, and also the tour guide. From water, you will arrive at the visitor center. At the center here sits a real Lepa boat, not as a display, but as a lived space, a reminder that this is their home and their livelihood. As visitors continue to step onto the interior spaces, the story of the community unfolds. How livelihood has shifted over time, how Tanjung Aru's cultural heritage has endured despite neglect and urban pressure, and how the local was once heavily dependent on fishing. And the inspiration of the entire master plan is inspired by this traditional Bajau house, where a sequence of spaces starting from Diom Luma, the main living space, the Sibai area for boat and fishing work, Kushi kitchen for the women, Jambatan, the utility space, and Pentan, the waiting area. All of these spaces are created through daily routines and interaction with the environment. This logic is then being translated into the master plan, where a central movement spine connects the site, while the spaces branches out based on different function. From movement, we move into expression. This is Diom Luma, the heart of the project. Practices such as tepomet weaving and tenduang craft are brought back into the heart of the community life. As the Bajau women gather to weave, teach, and learn together, cultural knowledge can be passed down from one generation to another. A 2-story open plan with foldable partitions allow the space to shift in between cultural events, workshop, and informal daily use for the community. The space is defined by the parabolic roof, which is inspired by the Lepa boat, creating a large flexible volume for gathering and exchange. Adjacent to this is the flag making studio, starting the process from dyeing the textile to stitching, from assembly to drying the flags. For the Bajau, the flags represent their a symbol of maritime life and unity. Here, culture comes alive through the community. In the music, the play, the story, and the communal celebration. Community-based tourism creates a mutual exchange where visitors engage with the real culture and the community gains ownership and opportunity from it. Spaces extend seamlessly from outdoor to indoor, reflecting the Baja way of living in between the sea and the land. The Lepa Docks becomes a main gathering platform for daily activities and larger celebrations such as Regatta Lepa Festival. With Lepa boat decorated in vibrant sambulayans and ornament, showcasing the Bajau identity and why they are known as the most colorful tribe in Sabah. Craft for the Bajau, it is knowledge. It is how their homes are being built and repaired, and how the life on water is sustained through the boat. But today, this craftsmanship is fading. Fewer craftsmen continue boat making, and with it, the skills that define their identity are at risk of being lost. The boat repair workshop functions as a working space for the community, where the skills are being practiced, taught, and passed on through daily routines while sustaining the local as a source of income. Traditional tenon and dowel joint, which is used in the Lepa boat, are now being adapted into the building system. Timber members are connected through interlocking joineries, where interlocking joineries together with the dowel made by a local wood belian, which reduces the reliance on metal fastener in construction. The timber joineries are being exposed in a way that the building can be seen and clearly understood. From core, we move outwards, where the focus shifts from space making to improve how the community lives. The Experiential Tourism Hub is constructed using a similar local building practices, which is lightweight, easy to maintain, and easy to repair material. This continuous cycle of building and rebuilding reflects the Baja way of adaptability and resilience. More than just creating jobs, this entrepreneurship booth brings economic opportunity back into the village, where people can continue to work, earn, and to learn from the community. Movement has improved through the clear circulation around the overall master plan, where while boat remain as the main transport, the elevated walkway supports safe movement for walking and cycling around the site. Essential infrastructure is being integrated into the development and existing floating villages, such as clear separation in between public and private access, reliable electrical supply, access to water supply, and proper sewage system. Together, these upgrades directly improves the living condition, reduce pollution, and to create a more healthier living condition for the Bajau, where it is being achieved through the Sustainable Development Goals. Aligned with AYDA 25-26, Converge, crafting cultural identity. This project turns fragmentation into reconnection, reconnection into empowerment, where Kampung Tanjung Aru Lama is reimagined as a place where people call home, and where architecture improves living condition, strengthens livelihood, and the Bajau identity. By working with the existing cultural potential and the way of building, this proposal offers the community for a better, more resilient future. Here, architecture becomes a bridge, linking people to place, past to future, and traditions to possibility. Because when architecture listens, culture survives. When community leads, legacy grows. When design converges with identity, we craft not just building, but future. Thank you.